Go ahead and get started today on our March 5th El Paso County Planning Commission meeting. Bring it to order. Let's see. Today we've got voting members of Ms. Jack, Mr. Byers, Mr. Moraes, Mr. Trowbridge, Mr. Whitney, and I'm your chair. I'll be voting as well. We've got a new member with us today, Mr. Michael Brewer. Welcome. He's a new associate member. He won't be voting today, but you can certainly, as I said, can ask questions and make comments. So welcome. All righty. Any announcements from staff?
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Harrington, Planning Director. I have nothing. I would ask Mr. Kilgore if he had any administrative items for today. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Item 3B, SF 2513. When you get to that section, sir, I'll be asking the Commission for a continuance on that. So whenever you're ready for that,
All right,
sir.
great. Thank you. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Jessica, I had a question about public comments and notes and whatnot. Did I understand last time you said that those letters are going to be kept somewhere other than in our files here?
So we have an option in EDARP now where those public comments, people can submit them. So typically our process prior to this EDARP system was that if they had a public comment, they would email either the planner or we have an email called PCD hearings, and they would send those comments into that email. This is now a centralized location for public comment to be within the EDARP file itself. So that is where we're recommending the public go to submit those comments. If we receive the comments before I send that email out that you got last week, those comments will be attached to your staff report.
Okay.
But in between the email and then today's date, they would be printed in your packet as normal, or in your binder as normal.
All right. So one way or the other, they're going to come to us. We don't have to go seek them out.
No.
Right. Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Alrighty, this is a time when we will entertain anyone who'd like to address us on some item that's not on our agenda today. Is there anyone here that would like to do that? Seeing none, we'll proceed. Approval of minutes. Anyone have any changes to our minutes from our last meeting? Seeing none, we'll approve those as submitted. And that brings us into our consent items. Agenda item 3B, file number SF2513, final plat Red Rock Acre subdivision.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Justin Kilgore, Planning Manager. Staff would like to ask for this item to be continued. There's some administrative items we're asking for continuance to clear up some administrative items and comments that would make it a better application, sir. And we're asking for a continuance to 319, sir.
To 319?
Yes, sir.
Chairman and Justin, I'm sorry, 1 second. Just to clarify for the record over here, we do have something in writing from the applicant that has also agreed to the continuance, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
That was more for the record than anything
Right.
else. Thanks.
All right, I understand that we need to vote on that to approve that continuance.
Mr.
Can I get
Chair.
yes, Mr. Trowbridge?
I move that agenda item 3B, file number SF2513, be continued to a date certain, which is March 19th.
Thank you.
Second.
Mr. Whitney, thank you. Any comments?
I just have one question. Does
Mr.
the
Murray.
public get notified again that the new date is the 19th?
There will be new posters sent out.
Okay.
But we won't send out new mailings.
Okay.
But we'll get new posters because this will affect
problem.
their Board of County Commissioners date as well. So
Okay. Thank you.
there is.
Great. We'll go ahead and take the vote. Ms. Jack?
Aye.
Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Mr. Moraes?
Aye.
Mr. Trowbridge?
Aye.
Mr. Whitney?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, so that item is continued. Next agenda item is number 3C, file number CS253, map amendment rezoning church at Bent Grass Meadows rezone. Would anybody like to see that pulled and heard as a regular item? See that? Pardon me? Anyone in the audience want to see that polled? Great. We will, any discussion before we take a vote? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
with regards to agenda item 3C of file number CS253 for a map amendment rezoning church at Bentgrass Meadows rezone, I move for approval in accordance with the attached resolution with 2 conditions and 3 notations, and that this item be forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners for their consideration.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Byers. Take the vote. Ms. Jack?
Aye.
Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Mr. Moraes?
Aye.
Mr. Trowbridge?
Aye.
Mr. Whitney?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, so agenda item number 3C passes unanimously. On to agenda item number 3D, file number SP245, preliminary plan Esteban Rodriguez. Anybody like to see that pulled and heard as a regular item? Anyone in the public? All righty. I do have just a question quickly for staff. I don't want to have it pulled, but thanks. I couldn't determine if there was is there any change between what was originally approved and this preliminary plan? As far as the, the
Like
number of,
from the sketch plan to now?
yeah,
There were, for the record, Ryan Hauser, Planning Community Development. There were some minor tweaks to the layout internally, but we determined it to be substantially in conformance with the sketch plan and the recently approved rezone applications.
okay. That's all I needed. Thanks very much. Any other discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
with regards to agenda item 3D, file number SP245 for a preliminary plan Esteban Rodriguez, I move for approval with the attached resolution with 4 conditions, 3 notations, and a finding of sufficiency for water quality, quantity, and dependability, and this item be forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners for their consideration.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Jack. All right, on to our regular item. Oh, yeah, we guess we should vote, huh? All right. Ms. Jack.
Aye.
Mr. Byers.
Aye.
Mr. Moraes.
Aye.
Mr. Trowbridge.
Aye.
Mr. Whitney.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, so item 3D does get voted on and passed unanimously. Now on to agenda item 5A, file number PUD SP 252, Planned Unit Development Preliminary Plan, Flying Horse North, filing numbers 6 through 8, major amendment.
And again, for the record, Ryan Hauser with Planning and Community Development. Before we start, I would like to ask the chair if we could get a sense of if there are any citizens in the audience that wish for a full presentation. And if there is not, I would like to request an abbreviated presentation, if that's okay.
Yeah, any commissioners want to hear a full presentation, or do you need the whole thing, or?
I'm happy to hear whatever citizens' concerns are here. We have the letters also that came in.
Certainly, yeah.
We address those.
But as far as the full report, no, okay.
I don't,
Yeah, let's ask, is there anyone out here that would like to? Mr. Whitney, did you have?
No, I'm sort of mystified as the difference between a full presentation and a less of a one. So why don't we go by feel and see what we get?
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Was there anyone, I didn't see it, that would like a full presentation? Okay. Seeing none, go ahead with your abbreviated presentation.
Okay, thank you. So this item is the PUD SP 252, the major preliminary plan and PUD amendment for Flying Horse North, filing numbers 6 through 8. Again, for the record, my name is Ryan Hauser. I'm the planner for this project. With Public Works Engineering, we have Daniel Torres. I'll skip over the hearing procedures slide. There are several criteria of approval slides, and I can come back to these at any time. Considering this is a combined PUD and a preliminary plan amendment, the requirement is that they show compliance with both criteria of section 4.2.6D for the PUD and then 7.2.1 D2E for a preliminary plan. So as I said, this is a request for an amendment to the PUD and preliminary plan for the Flying Horse North subdivision. You've probably all seen this project before in some way, shape, or form. Just giving a brief history, back in 2016, the original PUD was approved by the board alongside the original preliminary plan for 283 lots with a minimum lot size of 2.5 acres. A few years ago, the applicant had proposed a more intense development proposal with the Flying Horse North sketch plan, which proposed a net increase of 644 units. That plan has since been rolled back to something that's somewhat similar to the original plan. Last year, Planning Community Development, the PCD director administratively approved 2 minor amendments to the layout. So they had some small layouts to accommodate a new development plan where they kind of shifted some of the roads around, and we determined those to be insubstantial changes. So we allowed them to proceed with 2 administrative amendments for what was referred to as filings 4 and 5. And now today, the reason we're here before you with a major amendment is because the applicant has purchased additional land. You can see in the corner, bottom right corner of this map, there are a couple RR5 zoned spots. So the intent with the proposal today is to incorporate that land into the development proposal into the PUD. So they will be proposing to rezone that property from RR5 to PUD and incorporate that land into the preliminary plan, which would result in a net increase of 16 lots from 283 lots to 299 total lots. Essentially, with regards to the master plan, and we've determined it to be pretty similar to the originally approved plan. I've copied several goals and objectives here that I thought were relevant to this specific proposal in terms of the project being in compliance with the master plan. And that, essentially, unless you would like to hear from engineering, would conclude the abbreviated presentation. If you all had any questions for staff or the applicant, we can bring the applicant up as well if you would like to hear from them. Otherwise, that would be essentially where I would conclude the abbreviated presentation.
Any questions for staff?
I may just after, if any citizens speak, just to gather their thoughts. And I have a couple of questions to ask from these letters that came in.
Questions for,
staff, most likely.
okay. Anyone else? Okay. You want to do that now, or you want to wait till after?
Mr. Chair,
Well, you want to take comments first, I guess? Okay, applicant, let's have the applicant come up.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Blaine Perkins. I'm the Planning and Landscape Architecture Group Lead for HR Green. I'm here on behalf of Flying Horse Development for the Flying Horse PUD, Flying Horse North PUD and Preliminary Plan Major Amendment. As Mr. Hauser alluded to, the reason we are here before you today is because we have elected or purchased 80 acres of additional land, and we would like to add that within the current scope and boundary of the existing PUD preliminary plan that currently exists on the property today. To the right are 2 different separate images. What you're seeing on the top is the originally approved 2016 PUD preliminary plan. Filings 1 through 5 have actually been developed and constructed underneath this original PUD plan. And then what we'd be looking to today is develop 6, 7, and 8 under this new plan. As Mr. Hauser alluded to, The original property was just over 1,400 acres. We're now around just under 1,500. So we have roughly added just over 82 acres to the property. And within those 82 acres, we have added 16 additional lots. One of the important items I wanted to highlight just specifically is it's basically a 1-for-1 swap. As you'll notice there to the next to the lot counts, we have the same proposed gross density within these plans based on the amount of acreage we've added and the number of lots we've added within that. One other item within this, on the application request, we have obtained additional water sufficiency, reliability, and dependability with this application, therefore allowing future subsequent final plat and construction document applications to be reviewed and approved administratively by county staff. For those not familiar with the site location of where Flying Horse North is, we're bounded to the west by State Highway 83, to the east by Black Forest Road, and to the north by Hodgen Road. To the south are a number of existing rural developments within unincorporated El Paso County, including Cathedral Pines and Estates. Touching just real quick on your El Paso County's master plan, two of those items I wanted to specifically highlight are the large residential place type. This major amendment does not elect to change that or not conform with any of those, specifically the 2.5 acre minimum lot size. So as Mr. Hauser alluded to, there was a previous major amendment and sketch plan that proposed to bring in a much higher density plan. That is no longer happening, no longer smaller lots. Every of these 16 additional lots added, every single one of them now meets those same PUD design standards. So that's one thing I wanted to clarify. We're not electing to change any of the 2016 design PUD standards that were originally approved. We just need to add more land and additional lots as well. The second item within the El Paso County Master Plan that I'd like to highlight is just that this is within a priority development area within unincorporated El Paso County. So just talking really briefly on the previously approved or the original 2016 PUD preliminary plan, one specific element I just want to highlight is that red area. So to put it in context of where the 82 acres exist, that is the area of the property that we have purchased and we are looking to bring within the current boundary of Flying Horse North today. This is the new proposed area. I've kind of snipped out, if you'll notice, filings 1 through 3, because those are currently existed and constructed with actual home sites and vacant lots for purchase. And I really just wanted to focus on these pink or magenta and blue areas. Chatting real quick about the pink area to the north. Because we are coming before you today, just adding the 82 acres, we also wanted to redesign one of the previous filings within the original 2016 master plan. Along that eastern corridor, you'll notice it's a large open space corridor now. The original original PUD plan actually within that area had a number of lots that were going to be taking direct access off Black Forest Road. Since that 2016 plan, there have been a number of traffic roads and studies and construction efforts that are planned to be happening in the future that would no longer make that necessarily viable for lots to take that off of. Actually, as part of this application, we'll touch on it a little bit later in the presentation, we are dedicating 20 feet for those future widenings and construction whenever they are warranted in the future. And that new road classification will be upgraded to a minor arterial. Typically within the county and the city as well, we would not want direct lot access taken off a minor arterial roadway just based off the anticipated trips generated from that. So if we were to do a side-by-side comparison of the 2016 and our 2025 PUD preliminary plan today, again, you'll see up there to the north, we've redesigned that, pulled those lots off of Black Forest Road. Everything will now be accessed internally within the subdivision on what we call Rubble Drive, which is actually currently existing within filing 4 today and has been constructed. Another element I wanted to highlight within that open space corridor, and it'd actually be the next slide, is as part of this application too, we have worked with Ross Williams and El Paso County Parks District on a new regional trail agreement to coincide with this major amendment and basically redo the alignment of what we anticipate extending from Cathedral Pines to the south all the way up to Hodgen Road. This is a well-desired connection. We've worked pretty rigorously throughout this application with them to get something that we can all agree on and what we feel is the best route. And there's much excitement over finally getting this connection all the way through the neighborhood. Another element I wanted to touch on down here is you actually see the side-by-side of the 82 acres added, just to bring a little bit more context. One of the major changes within this too that we worked with El Paso County Traffic Engineering on is the realignment of what Holmes Road will actually continue through Flying Horse North. And we'll get into a little bit of those details here shortly. So just speaking real quick on that proposed regional trail. So again, this is breaking out those new trail connections. So that is the orange line you're seeing on this drawing. And then we have broken it out and color coordinated it so that they can follow with the subsequent final plat applications and then ultimately get presented to Parks Board for approval before plat recordation for these filings. Within all of these filings and what we've elected to do is each of these trails or future trails that will be added will be within a regional trail easement. The trails will be constructed by Flying Horse and then they will be dedicated and turned over to offset the regional park fees associated with this development. At the bottom is a quick breakdown of just the linear foot amounts of trails specifically within each of those filings as we work ourselves from filing 8 to the south all the way through 7 to the north along Hodgen Road. So for traffic, as part of this application, there were a number of reports and studies that were conducted in 2016 that were required to be updated. One of those was the Master Impact Traffic Study that was produced originally for the subdivision. As I mentioned earlier, one of the specific elements I wanted to highlight that I think is appropriate for the discussion today is the realignment of Holmes Road. If you look to our 2016 PUD preliminary plan to the left, you'll see because we didn't have that property as part of the subdivision, we really had only one option to extend Holmes Road, and that was basically to go due north along our property boundary, crossing the golf course up to Stagecoach. We felt, well, that we have this 80 acres and El Paso County Traffic Engineering agreed, there's a better realignment to take place to ultimately potentially cut through traffic between the existing neighborhood to the south and Cathedral Pines, as well as provide just a safer means of route and slower speeds down. So that's what we elected to do is add in some curves within that road to hopefully lower anticipated traffic volumes and speeds. And then rather than that connecting straight in to Holmes Road all the way through the subdivision, it'll actually tee into what we are calling Sandbagger Drive. At that intersection, you will hang a right. You will then follow up through existing filing 5, and that will take you to Flying Horse, to Old Stagecoach Road that currently exists today. I believe we did, and it's in your staff report, we did receive some comments related to the road circulations, potential networks. One thing I did want to clarify with that, and I believe it was a question within that comment, is filing 5, which you're seeing on the right there, that's in the darker black lines, is currently built today. What we have done is built a temporary cul-de-sac at the end of that. So at the time of 6 and 8, those will be connected straight into there. So we will not be building Holmes Road from the south to the north. We will be building it down north to south as the development comes on. So the likelihood of cut through traffic or anything happening from the onset is not likely. That will happen as development occurs and continues to happen and take place further to the south. One of the other items I previously mentioned is just those right-of-way dedications. So not only are we dedicating right-of-way along Black Forest Road, we're also dedicating right-of-way along Hodgen for a future widening that's going to be taking place in the future as up there. Within there, both of those road widenings or dedications are actually being listed as a tract. The goal of that and working with Ryan and the planning department is those will be written as separate legal descriptions in the future, and that way those can be conveyed by separate instrument to the appropriate agency at the time that will be responsible for the construction. Fire protection. So fire protection was another report, and as we all know, it's just kind of the climate and what we're currently experiencing today. This is a topic of discussion. We worked, I would say, for about 8 months with Black Forest Fire Protection District as well as El Paso County staff to reach an agreement on what we feel and we're all comfortable with on how we can serve this community and better serve this community, and even the 16 additional lots that we are planning to add. The graphic to the right represents just a rough outline of this intent and this design intent listed within the fire protection report. One thing I do want to clarify, similar to the other reports associated with this application, currently what we have today is an approval from Black Forest with our intent of what we plan to serve. What will happen thereafter is when we get into the final plat and CD applications, that is when the specific design elements of those fire protection measures will be implemented and reviewed and ultimately accepted. So at this time, we have not proposed them, or those not have been sent in for review, But following this application, if it were moved forward to Board of County Commissioners and ultimately be approved, those will be sent in for review, and that will be the next step, working with Black Forest Fire Protection District to show them that we are conforming with what we have agreed to today. One element I did want to highlight, and that is just a snip from EDARP right underneath our bullet points, is just Chief Rocco at Black Forest Fire Protection District's comment, ultimately saying that they approve and they agree with what we have planned to do to serve this neighborhood in the future. At this time, we remain available for any questions that you have.
Any questions, Mr. Moraes?
Just, can you go back to the slide that was labeled traffic, up that one, Holmes Road? I'm just trying to put together, and I think you addressed it with the Hillborns had a comment in EDARP, and then what's the road that's on the north that Holmes Road connects to? What's that east-west running road?
This one,
Yes.
that is Old Stagecoach.
Okay, and then the one to the south that it connects into,
Down here,
yeah,
that is existing Holmes Road today.
the one that, okay, so it just makes a 90 and then starts going off to the west.
Oh, yeah, sorry. This one right here is Sandbagger. So
Yeah.
this was built out with filing 5. There's a cul-de-sac right here today as a temporary cul-de-sac.
Okay.
That cul-de-sac will then go away when filing 6 and 8 come online. And then this is the T intersection where Holmes Road meets Sandbagger
And then
continues south.
And then going south on Holmes Road, it eventually gets to the south of this property, and then it makes a 90-degree turn to the west and continues as Holmes Road. Is that what it is?
This continues straight south.
Oh, okay, so what's that? So is there a road right there?
No, I'm sorry. That is just a color.
Oh, okay.
That's just a tract where
Okay.
a regional trail.
Okay,
will
so
actually
Holmes just
exist.
keeps going straight.
Yes, sir.
There's no east-west running road right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. And so the question was, so as it builds down, I'm just trying to understand the concern that the citizens had on this one. Where's Vesey Road?
That is much further south. That's actually off of this graphic.
Okay.
Currently, right now, because Holmes Road dead ends at our property line, that is one of their main egress points. After this is constructed, they'll actually have an additional egress point in case of emergency, if that is ever needed, or just for pure convenience to actually go through Flying Horse North if they would like to.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. Now I understand what they're saying. Okay, makes sense to me. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Whitney?
My questions have been answered. Thank you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, great. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
continuing on the discussion of homes, so you said you'd build north to south.
Yes, sir.
Is there a trigger for the number of lots before you open that connection to the south?
So if we're looking at this graphic on the right here, we're doing a 1-lot subdivision, what we're labeling as filing 6. So that would be the first trigger of that first elbow. And then an additional temporary cul-de-sac will actually be provided right here, similar to filing 5. The second trigger will be the filing 8 final plat application. And so that will be the next construction of Holmes Road all the way through.
Okay, thank you.
Other comments? Great, thank you.
Yes, sir.
This is our time for public comment. Is there anyone in the that would like to speak in favor of this item? Seeing none, there are folks that want to speak against it. Come on up. If you haven't already, if you'd sign in and
Yes,
give
I
us.
did. Thank
Okay.
you. I'm Keith Dale, live on the Canal Drive of the Palmer Divide subdivision. And I'm just here to talk about the notice that came out. The depiction of the site on the notice also showed the Connaught or Palmer Divide subdivisions and the Country Estate subdivisions. So I'm just wondering, is that an error? And if so, could we make note of that? I don't know if I want to
What's
show it to you guys.
What part of it's the error? Sorry. Oh, it's including that, shouldn't be in there.
And it includes Country Estate. Notice the plans.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just assuming that this is.
Okay. Can you show that to our attorney, gal on the right in the white? Mr. Whitney?
I suppose I do have one question, if I could, just for clarification.
Sure. For staff?
Just good gentleman here, sorry. I wanted to let you sit down before I ask the question.
You're fine.
Just to be sure for clarification, because I've gotten a little lost in the various filings over time. At one point, there was discussion of locating another fire substation on this site.
Yes, sir.
And I see here cisterns, but I don't see anything about another fire station.
No, so the original or the previous high density application is what we had called it when those 600 units were planned. Because of the amount of intense uses or amount of lots we were adding,
Yes.
an additional station was going to be provided at that time. Now, after working with Black Forest with just adding 16 more lots and it's still staying rural and 2.5 acre minimum, we had determined there's no longer a need for a specific station to be on the site anymore.
That's what I thought. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
So Commissioners, Megan Harrington, Planning Director, I would say, you know what? We try our best to make sure that everybody has notification. The correct information is in EDARP. That map does show more area. We have corrected that with the gentleman. That does not have a legal impact on our notification because the notification was just, these are the applications. That map we just put on there for ease of people seeing the general area. So Chairman, if your question was, and Eric and I were just chatting about this, if your question is, does this mean that there's a legal issue with the notification? No, the legal issue, there's no legal issue. Our legal need is to notice that in the newspaper. These are just kind of additional, let the neighbors know, and we will make sure that we look at the maps closer in the future.
And if for the record, it doesn't affect any of their development where they live. Obviously, it's not included in the actual.
If that's not included in the actual presentation, I mean, in the actual rezoning, as you saw here today, and as speaking with those neighbors, they just wanted to make sure their comment was on record to know that their property was not being rezoned, and it is not.
Great. All right. Thanks. And folks, thanks for coming down and getting clarification on that. Anyone else would like to speak against this item? Seeing there's no one online. Jessica?
We do not have anyone online.
All right, thank you. So we'll close the public comment. Any more discussion on this item? I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Moraes?
Mr. Chair, with regards to agenda item 5A of file number PUD SP 252 for a planned unit development and preliminary plan Flying Horse North filings 6 through 8, which is a major amendment, I move for approval in accordance with the attached resolution with 7 conditions and 5 notations and with the finding of sufficiency for water quality, quantity, and dependability, and this item be forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners for their consideration.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Byers, thank you. Any other discussion before we vote? Ms. Jack?
Aye.
Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Mr. Moraes?
Aye.
Mr. Trowbridge?
Aye.
Mr. Whitney?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. So agenda item 5A, file number PUD SP 252, Plan Unit Development Preliminary Plan, Flying Horse North filing number 6 through 8, major amendment, is unanimously approved. Any other items for discussion today?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I just want it to be on record that one of our other associate members that was not able to attend in person did attend virtually. Miss Mary Beth Emmerich, she was on our teams
Okay.
virtually for us.
Now, are there a few more associates coming, or are these 3 the?
We have 4 associates total.
Okay. And is the last one that's not on here? Are
He
they?
is going to need to go through orientation first. So if he can come in for orientation, he may be able to attend the 19th meeting, but we'll just get that scheduled for.
All right, great.
Yep.
And then we do have items for the 19th,
Yes.
right? Yep, all right, great, thanks. All right, we'll be adjourned.